We have talked about Pascal stands for equality, we have Rocky who stands for democracy, and then we have my friend Stuti here who stands for self-entrepreneurship. So back to Pascal, you've told us about equality. Could you just briefly use 1 minute to tell us how do you advocate for equality and especially among the youths?
Basically, we are seeing that politically right now in the country, there's disparity about who's to be the leader and who's not to be the leader. There are guys who feel like they can determine who is meant to be a leader and who's not meant to be a leader. From some incidences lately, there's someone who feels like a young person isn't fit to be a leader. They want the older people or the elderly to be of service to us. And yet I feel like us youth also, since we live and we coexist all of us together, we need our voices heard. And we also need to have leadership positions.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, Rocky, how do you advocate democracy? And with the fact that Kenya is a democratic country, do you believe so? And if you believe so, how do you advocate for democracy?
Yeah, this is by encouraging the people outside there to take part in politics. Because, many people have lagged behind, especially in terms of politics. They're not carrying out their oblige or their responsibility in terms of politics. And I will agree with my fellow colleague here that we're trying to advocate especially mostly for the youth, the young people, so that we get into politics and try to transform our country. Because if you check on the recent years, our country has been put into a position that is at a risky position. This is because we don't have those people who have the power to bring up rules that will favor us as the people, to favor the people and the country. Because one thing we'll have to realize, democracy is for the people. And that's why we're trying to encourage people to take part in elections and also in politics for a better tomorrow.
So that's a good story and study. Is Kenya a democratic country?
Most definitely. Yes, Kenya is a democratic country. Because for me, the way I see Kenya is that Kenya is an economic hub. And the reason for this is because this freedom has been given to the people. The people have their way of expressing themselves and doing their businesses. That's why you see Kenya growing so fast. But there might be many challenges. Quite for sure there are many challenges, but you still see Kenya is thriving because of the freedom and the democracy that's running in Kenya. So, Kenya grows because of democracy.
Now, Pascalia, with the issue of we've had in the recent past these MPs insulting one another, abusing one another in front of the citizens. What's your take on that? Or what do you think about these politicians who use vulgar languages, insultive languages for their elders? In fact, young people insulting their elders.
That's a very nice one. I feel like we as the youth are following examples set by our elders. If I see an elderly person doing something, I feel like this is right. You're doing it, you're showing this to me because you believe this is what I should do. I follow in your steps. So if earlier or in the past the elders have done something and they're seeing it coming back to us, they should really not blame us and start looking at us and pinpointing how the youth of today, the children of today are so vulgar, or we have this and that and the other. Yet you're the guys who are stepping and we step on your footsteps. So whatever you do, remember we are here at the back and we're seeing what you're doing. And if you set this as an example to us, who are we not to follow? We just follow exactly what you tell us to do and how you show us to do it. Because you come and tell me, I am your elder, do this, because you have a reason as to why, and you believe if I do this, it's for my better future or so and so, yeah. So if you tell me to do that, it's just right for me to do it, yeah. And if I'm sitting back and I watch you doing this, two elderly people are sitting together or talking together and they want to throw insulting language to each other, it's simply right to me to see that you are doing this for me to follow the example. So I don't think it's right if you guys want to bombard us and tell us how things are wrong and yet you do them and we're just following in your footsteps.
So who are these guys you're saying you want to tell us these guys?
Am I supposed to specify? I'm talking in general about the elders, not basically just politicians, but our elders even back at home. Everywhere when you're walking around the streets, anywhere where our elders are. Whatever you do, remember we are watching. And we'll do exactly what you're doing because that's the example you're setting.
Can I jump on? You know, Kenya is a jungle, and from the background, when we were given independence, most of the things were run by the Europeans. So when it was given to Kenyans, most of us didn't have the experience, or the little that have the experience exploited those that didn't have the experience. So that created some kind of tough temperatures for people to work in the business, and as a result, people became hostile. That's why in Kenya, there's this slogan, "I'm a hustler." Hustler is someone who doesn't give crap about anything else, but he'll follow what he believes, and he'll go and look for that money. That's why I think the elders have translated a kind of communication to the younger generation. They might have been so rude that the younger generation saw it or perceive it to be good, that they're trying to also do it because they saw their success, and they see it because of the politicians. As much as someone is corrupt, the guy has money and he has power, and who doesn't love power? Especially the young people, they love power.
Yeah.
And so you would find it weird for a young person to try and emulate what that guy did, you see.
But one thing you have to notice is that once all of us we know that change is inevitable, and one thing you as a young person, even though you know that this is a wrong thing that the elder is trying to emulate to you have the choice to change it. You have the choice to choose the right direction. It's not a must. Even though they are showing a bad influence, one thing you have to realize that you can change that and not emulate it, but move on your own way, a way of integrity.
Yeah, but just to clarify what he's saying, as much as it's, in real sense, it's a wrong thing. Insulting people is not right. I'm sure no parent would say, I want you to go and insult so and so. You will not tell your child to do that, yeah? But just to clarify and make the air clean, we're not doing it because we are dumb or you're stupid. We don't know what you're doing. But this is what you are setting. So this is it's like a heads up. Stop what you're doing because we are here watching. Do the right thing and we'll be very, very easily follow what you're doing. So the wrong things they're doing, they just need to stop.
So back to you, Rocky.
Yeah.
What do you think can be the main cause for these politicians to use vulgar languages to insult one another? Like, what can be the cause? The real cause that can make me to stand up and say, you are a fool, you are do this, like use all sorts of bad languages to insult you.
One thing you have to note, this is Kenya, and you are speaking about politics. And in politics, each and every person is aiming at the top to get the seat, especially during times of elections. So one thing we'll come and realize, the politicians use propaganda in order I can talk bad of another person so that the people can favor me. So that's one of the things that's mainly contributing to this evil language and this bad language. I'll give you a good example. As per the moment, we have the Kibra by-election that is ongoing. And recently, I think it was kindly of last week, there was this speech given by Babu Owino. He was talking to Ruto. Yeah,
Talking about
Ruto. And when you hear about that speech, it's kind of not, he never used good words. It was like an insult. But why was he trying to do this? Because he knew we have Mariga being supported by the Jubilee Party. And in order to put him down, he had to use that language as a form of what? Propaganda, so that the people cannot do it. So that the people cannot elect Mariga to the seat. Something that is not good. That's why I'm saying one of the biggest issues that is contributing to this stuff is propaganda. They're trying to put somebody down. Yeah, especially when they know that you are a strong person and you can manage to get that seat. They'll have to use the best way possible.
So Shituti.
Yeah.
So he has talked about propaganda.
Yeah.
What can be the next reason for you? Like, I know you are not thinking the same.
Yeah.
So what can be your reason?
Well, you might say that I'm thinking different, but we still have the same basis. This is all marketing. So the leaders, let me not call them leaders, let me just call them politicians, because the leaders are there to do good to the community.
Yeah.
And I cannot stand and say that our politicians are all doing the right thing for the society. So I just call them politicians. So for them to get this popular vote, in Tango showbiz, you've heard of showbiz, how in the music industry rappers diss each other so that they can get some kind of traction.
Popularity.
It's like the same thing in politics. Today I'll call you something. I'm going to say something about you, so that you can retaliate and say something. So your fans will know that there's somebody called by this name who said this about our leader. At the end of the day, there's no bad popularity. All what is it called? I'm lacking the word. No publicity. All publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
So, you know? Yeah. So the youth, stop following these guys.
Yeah, true.
I said I'm an advocate for self-entrepreneurship and self-development. Believe in what you stick to your guns and do what's right for you. If you see this leader is not going the way I believe, don't do it.
Yeah.
So, but now, you say, but now, in his example he gave of Babowino, Babowino is a youth. If you didn't be a youth and then follow what your desires are, then do you think Babowino is doing the right thing by insulting his elders?
You see, Babowino, in his case, he sees it's best for him to do that because it favors him.
I feel like that's
So-
more of strategy.
Yeah, it's
It's
more
more of
strategy.
strategy.
We are falling into their strategy.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with Africa. We are too dumb to think that me on my own, I can do something that will give back and will develop me on my own. You all want someone to lead you, but instead you can be your own leader.
Yeah.
It's, you know, charity begins at home. Think about it. Think outside the box about that.
Yeah, also to add on that, one thing I can say also contributes to these insult things, emotion and grudges between different leaders. That they want to take out their emotions before the public, something that is not good and appropriate for the public. Because one thing we'll have to realize that many people are watching you and you have been chosen as a leader. Why have you been chosen as a leader? To act as role model, to represent a certain group of people. Okay, so when you act in such a manner, it's like you're trying to say that people from that community they don't have the integrity. Okay, so maybe emotions also contribute so much and grudges between different political parties.
So, Pascal mentioned of some of our great politicians using these vulgar languages that we use them to copy. And I know we as youth, we have a choice.
Yeah.
I know. We are learned, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I can tell you majority of the youth in Kenya are learned. You can decide to choose whatever the elder said or not. Because it is not coercion, it is by choice. You decide that no, I want to do this. That's according to me. But now I'm asking, do the same politicians who give insults affect our thinking as youth? This is a general question, but I would like to start from Pascal.
Yeah, I believe they greatly affect everyone, not just the youth. Because if you affect the youth, this youth is going back to a family. This family has elders as well. It has minors, children who are maybe very young. So it definitely has to affect the extended family, which goes to now the whole country. Because if we are to sit there and we are watching, I realize in our stations in the television most of the times, when there's something they want to put on air, they usually give a range. This is for this age, this is not for this age, or something of the sort, yeah? So if you're watching news, there's nowhere you'll say that this news is going to have PG or parental guidance or what. But then you watch this with your children and you see this happening from the people you're supposed to be emulating, or maybe, because some of them will sit down and ask a kid, who's your role model? Maybe you hear about Owino, you'd be surprised. Why would he be? You've seen him and you feel like, hey, this guy, he seems to be so powerful. He's speaking in front of elders and they're listening to him. Some are applauding, some are cheering, and you feel like you want to be like him. So it's definitely affecting us. Whatever they're doing in the media, and they use this media so badly because they show us what they want us to see. They are friends at the background. They're doing businesses together. They're doing so many things together, and they have so many things that bring them together. But what we are being shown is what they want us to see, for us to fight, and during elections for us to have disagreements, and that is where they win.
Now, to shoot here. Now, basing on Kibra by-elections,
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, how many youth are there?
For me, the ones that I know is Mariga. I know Mariga and the brother to Ken Okoth, the late Ken Okoth. I know of those two guys because to me, they're the ones who sold their message the most. Yeah.
So, and do you think there is a way, no, this is to Rocky, do you think there is a way we can encourage the youth to take up these political opportunities, these leadership opportunities, so that we know, people are told that youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but in the real sense, youth are the leaders of
Today and now.
But now, what can you tell people out there that you youth, you know what, you are the leaders of today?
Okay, one thing I can tell you, especially to the youth out there, one thing you have to realize that you are young people, people with energy, people with charisma. That is, you are able to influence. And the way the young you are, you are there to make, you have the capability to make good decisions, especially in the parliament. So one thing I'd like to encourage, especially to the youth, they have the capabilities. One thing that they have not realized, they're trying to sell their mind that it does not belong to us, it belongs to the elders. Something that is not true enough. Because we as youth, we have the power. We have a lot of youth who have been able to come up, who have been able to bring up a lot of developments, especially right now. Check Machakos County, how it is growing. Because it was being led by who? By a youth. Sonko, when he was being elected during the first time, you said there was a lot of initiatives which were brought up. The fire, when there was fire in different areas, he was there to support. So one thing, as a youth, you have the energy. You can go around, serve the people. Compared to these elders who are just sitting in the office, they're just waiting for their money gets, they squander away the money, and that's all. We are left, we are being oppressed on the other side. And yet we are down there, we are complaining that, oh, nani hajafanya hivi, oh, nani hajafanya hivi. Yeah. So it is your opportunity. It gives you an opportunity. You should stand up as youth and go for the seat.
So as we wind up, this is for Shituti and Pascalia. What can be the future roles of youth in politics as far as political integrity is concerned?
Let me go first. Because you're winding up, so I would like to say that I run an Instagram page called Matwana Matatu 3. It's just to spread for the culture, the Matatu culture, because the government is fighting against it. And for me, what I'm doing is I'm practicing integrity. I'm trying to show the government that even in the ghettos, as much as the situation is bad, these are just entrepreneurs who've come up with ideas of making this van something that's quite pleasant to the consumer. That's all the youth can do. They can come up with different ideas, what they believe in, and do them as initiatives to help the government and help themselves. We can't wait for people to come and help us back in the slums. We have to help ourselves in the slums with the current situation we are in. Yeah. Let's do the best of what we can to our ability. That's all I can say.
For me, to the youth, I'd feel like as much as we are saying we have them, we appreciate the presence of their presence. Yeah. But for the youth, I feel like we need to rise higher. We should hold our heads high, and let's just believe in ourselves more. Because we realize that maybe we don't have people who believe in us. They probably do not believe in us enough. So it's upon us to believe in ourselves enough for us to stand on our 2 feet and do what's right, and make these people realize that as much as you feel like us, the youth, are less of people, we have more to us than what meets the eye. Yeah, that's
in addition to her, before you finish, one thing I can tell them, changing of their mindset of what you're thinking. The negative implication about politics, they should remove it. And also, they should be cautious in the people that they're giving the seat, especially during the elections. Don't choose a person because of what he gives you. Choose a person for the betterment of tomorrow, of what he's going to provide. So we have to be cautious in electing our leaders, and also to the people who are rising, especially the youth, because most of them are educated as per now, and now they should try as hard as possible to give a good implication to the society. Because one thing we'll come and realize is that we as the people, we as the youth, okay, as we are with a good implication, it will give a good picture back to the society, and it can give us great opportunity even as we are heading in our political journey.
So you as a lady, you can see you are the only lady here.
Yeah.
What can be your message to other ladies, other women out there who are staying behind saying, no, we need seats, We need to be raised equality. We are fighting for equality, but now in the center of people, women are fighting for equality, that they want to be given free things. So what can be your message to them?
Being a woman isn't easy. It's quite a challenge, but it's a very adorable challenge. I take it wholeheartedly, and I embrace every challenge that we face as women. But before the word man in a woman, there's W-O, there's woo, or there's we men. So us, I feel like that word gives us more ability, more strength, and more power, more zeal, more everything to that word that should be embraced and made to be noticed. Yeah, and I feel like us women, we have so many things that are being fought against us. Like currently, I hear that the boy child also wants to be recognized because the girl child is also being recognized.
Why not?
This is more.
Why not?
It's clear here as well. This is more of a tug. It's a tug of war. But as much as you people feel like you want the boy child to also be recognized, we feel like as women of ours, the girl child, let's still pull this rope harder before the boy child takes over, because once you guys take over, it's going to be a different story.
The child is vulnerable. We are under siege.
You are not. You
come and realize.
no, you are not. So for the women, I think we should hold each other's hands. We are more of the jealousy, oh, this one has this, I do not have it. Let's quit that and hold each other's hands, and we'll see ourselves rising higher. That's it. No, you're not coming. We're still here.
So all of us, as my guests have agreed, are saying that youth are the leaders of
Now.
today,
Of now.
not tomorrow. So we have
Yeah.
to lead now. Thank you for tuning in to our show. Have been your host, Ruben, and has been Tuti,
AKA 96.
I'm Pascalia.
Pascalia,
Rocky.
and Rocky. We look forward to seeing you in our next show. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
High five.
Wanasema maskini ni mtumwa wa tajiri. Leo na wapa kweli, hapa hakuna jasiri. Usicheze na siasa, ni mchezo mchafu.